Here they are. I was unlucky this winter because I lost one hive, and that was the first one I lost. But last summer, although it was a very nice summer here in Iceland, I was not as lucky. I lost some hives, some queens. So I have only these two left. I actually don't know what happened. Except I got what's mold, isn't that? Mold? Yeah, in the hive.
The weather is so bad in the spring, you can't really figure out whether it is the weather or whether it might be some other problem. Might be something to do with the feeding, or might possibly be a disease that is plaguing the bees. And in my case, I think last year, I think the queens were more or less infertile and very weak, so not laying enough eggs. And then they kind of were not strong enough when they started the winter, so they died out. But you never, in Iceland, you blame everything on the weather, so there could be something wrong with the queens, could be diseases, could be wrong feed or wrong thing you are feeding them. So it could be number of things, but usually people just blame everything on the weather and say there are no diseases in Iceland because they will die of the weather anyway. So that's a bit misleading, I believe. I think there might be disease in Iceland in the bees, and there might be wrong methods in feeding them, and there might be a number of things wrong apart from the weather, I think.
When they came here, they said to us, this will never work. It's too much wind and it doesn't work. And I said, okay, I'm still having them there. It is not so far away from my home. I can look at them when I want to. If it is wind, I can run up and see if everything is okay. But now we have 6 hives up there, and they are all surviving the winters again and again, so it's good.
Disse to bifolkene kom fra Åland I fjor som package bees, og de har overlevd veldig godt. Og det lille bifolket som her, det en sverm som kom fra en birøkter 1 kilometer nede I dalen her. Så det var bare en sverm som bosatte seg I noen tomme kasser som jeg fant her. Så det var veldig artig å få en sverm, en naturlig sverm som bare bosatte seg I mine kasser.
But after last winter I got a little bit sad because we lost now 2 hives out of 3. So I didn't want to order any new hive, but usually we order 1 hive every June. So I decided to let this hive be completely in peace, and we won't take honey. I don't want to take honey from them before the winter time, even though it's very tempting to take the honey because it's really good. Because what we do, we take lots of honey from them. Some people empty the hive completely and feed them sugar water. So that's no energy, not a good energy in that, because it's white sugar that they turn into honey, and that's not a very nutritious energy for them. So now I want to do an experiment and not take anything. And some of the other beekeepers are making fun of us because they saying, are those your pet bees? But it's very difficult to keep bees in Iceland because of the weather. rainy, windy, then snow and frost during the winter. And then sometimes they get, you know, it's hard for them, all that wind and rain.
2012 we got 2 hives, and they've always been successful. We always had some, or most of them have been quite strong, and we've never lost a hive during the winter. We're
famous for that.
We're famous for that.
Record?
Yeah, I don't know how people do that. I have no experience with this. But the main thing is we just keep it like that during the winter. And
We just strap in.
strap maybe a little bit better. We put a box on top just to increase the ventilation. This is a box with straw. And then we increase the ventilation on the bottom also. So if the hive ventilates during the winter, they can sort of control the humidity inside. And yeah, obviously like that.
But that's the worst part for it, is the springtime. It's not actually the winter, but in Iceland we have like sometimes the spring starts in February for 3 days, and then the week after we have frost and snow, and these things are so complicated for the bees because they go out of this hibernation form and just start breeding maybe, and much too soon, and there's nothing to eat for them, and that's the problem. So we have been trying for many years to find out how to keep them alive during the winter, or especially during the spring. Some people are getting very good at it, actually, but then sometimes it happens that a lot of hives that don't survive the winter. And here there were those 2 hives did survive, but they are very weak after the winter. And we had also 2 hives in another place in Reykjavik called Elliðardalur. They both died. But then there are people who are really good at it.
I built this, it looks like a virki, like a fortress around it, actually to cut the wind cooling, so that all around the bees, not just, you know, so it wouldn't blow away, all around the bees there would be warmer around the hive, you know, when they're going out. I still have to finish it from some directions, you know. But I have a lot of faith in that it is possible. I mean, bees have been around for what, millions of years, tens of millions of years, that they can adjust. It's just about, it's mostly how long it takes for them.